I would consider us to be first responders. It feels like we're doing something actively to help. Because a lot of times when situations happen, first responders come, yes, you know, you have your EMTs and ambulance and fire department. But once they're gone, or once someone's dead, you know, what's the rest of the community left to do and feel?
That there is a clip from Black Strings, one of the 8 films from Homegrown, a collaboration between PBS, Firelight Media, and a number of public television stations in America's Midwest that will be screened at the Milwaukee Film Festival. And join us now to talk more about the film and the festival, Marquise Mays. Thank you so much for being here with us.
So excited. I'm happy to be back.
Oh, well, we appreciate you being here. First off, talk about how you got involved in Homegrown.
Yeah, Homegrown Future Visions is a partnership with Firelight, and I saw the opportunity out on the interwebs, and was just like, this sounds like a super cool thing, because you typically do not hear about, you know, grants or film opportunities being available for people who are not on the coasts, right? Who don't live in LA or New York or in Atlanta. So it was really cool to see that they were hyper focused on the Midwest, and I knew I had a story, so I just kind of shot my shot, and it ended up working in my favor that they were really interested in the story, and it's been a beautiful partnership since.
Yeah, you took advantage of it. So talk about Black Strings and what makes this film so special.
Black Strings is a special film because I got to follow the group, the Black String Triage Ensemble. They're a group comprised of musicians, all string instruments, right? So string musicians who, during the summers in Milwaukee, they go to crime scenes and they act as a first responder, where they perform at the scene of the crime. Depending on the severity of the crime, they do a special selection of music based on the 5 stages of grief from mainly Afro and Afro-Latinx composers. So they're a beautiful group of people that I was gracious enough to be able to have the opportunity to follow and just be in their world. So they go to the scenes, they perform at the scenes of the crime, and try to add a little bit more emotional weight and brevity to the scene, so that it's not just shrouded in trauma and sadness as we're used to.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique circumstance. What drew you to this?
You know, I think it was the original kind of call to action that they had. The founder of the Black String Triage Ensemble, David Hallman, he reached out to me, and I recognized that in his expression of the organization of the ensemble, it was an urgency in his voice, and I realized that I needed to match their urgency to get their message out in the best way that they know how, and really talk about the healing properties of music.
So what makes this film different than other films that you've directed?
Yeah, so I like to think of this in my trilogy of Milwaukee films so far, and it's a really cool thing. This film is a little bit different from my previous ones. I think my previous ones are a little bit more lighthearted. They're a little bit more vibrant in color, and a little bit more kind of surveying the day of Milwaukee, daytime Milwaukee, and you think about summers and all of those things. So it's really cool to see that this film is completely opposite in a sense. We shot this film completely at night. We didn't have, you know, sunlight accessible to us. We didn't have natural light accessible to us. So it's a really stylistically different film because we're using the light of the night to illuminate our subjects, and that was a real struggle for us, but it came out to actually give a different story about the city, one that feels a little bit more honest, earnest, and authentic. So this film is very different from the last, and it challenged me in a lot of ways too. So it was really cool to see the outcome.
So what's next for this film? We're going to see it at the film festival, but what's next?
Yes, so we're having our hometown premiere at the festival, which I'm super excited about. I really would love for people to come out. The ensemble will be there themselves, so it's going to be a really, really beautiful night. What's next for the film? We're going on a festival run, so we're going to different cities, showing the film in competition at different film festivals, not only to raise awareness of what the ensemble is doing, but to really engage people in conversation about what Black and Brown communities may need also in response to trauma. So we want to begin to spark conversations in several communities so that they can find their thing. In Milwaukee, ours may be strings, but somewhere else it may be something different, right? So we just want to use the film as a calling card to have that conversation, but then to also give an opportunity for the Black String Triage Ensemble to be seen, heard, respected in their own musical spaces as well.
All right, we got a few moments left, but talk about what else you have going on. Give me some of the good stuff. What you got going on?
Yeah, so I'm still here in the city. I'm pushing this film. Although it is a short film, we do have aspirations of making it into a feature film, so a feature-length film, which will be more of a character study of our participants, and really get into the psyche of what makes them want to choose to do this every day. So working on that, and then I teach as well. So it's been a beautiful exchange between education, offering things to the city while also allowing the city to gift me things like a story like this. So it's been a really great opportunity.
Marquise, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. Yes.